Hello, Steve here. Welcome to Real Health. Who'd have thought health is about what we're eating? Join me on my quest to disseminate my go-to health regimen, the Health 44, my clumsy branding of eliminating 4 classes of food, introducing 4 classes of micronutrients. Bingo, bongo, health sorted. So thank you for your interest. Let's do this. Here we go. Welcome. And Celtic Sea Salt. How could it be bad? It's good, isn't it? Yes, it is good, but I endorse it. I've disclosed in prior episodes that I use it, and I was on this subscription every 3 months, so I get 5 kilos. I only ended up using half in each 3 months, but I've got a bit of supply left. Apparently, the world is out of Celtic Sea Salt, and some health gurus suggest it, prescribe it, and I certainly do. And I come across it after listening to Barb O'Neill, and she made the supply of Celtic Sea Salt disappear. And just like with olive oil, I perceive a possible future where they just, I don't know, dig up Redmond's sea salt and pass it off as Celtic sea salt, and then bingo, bongo, sales happen again. Yeah, the reason why I mentioned olive oil, there's not enough olive trees in the world to supply all the olive oil being sold in the stores. So pretty much your store-bought olive oil is cut with other stuff like canola oil and the like. How much? It still smells like olive oil. It's a bit rancid. And as I also disclose with olive oil, yes, this is about Celtic Sea Salt, but I might as well just tie off that bookend, that quick bookend about olive oil. All oils in a bottle, don't cook with it. Don't. It's okay to have olive oil, but press it there, eat it there, because it oxidizes. Okay, so oil in a bottle, it's oxidized, it's rancid. It adds to the whole trans fats, heterocyclic amines, and acrylamides build up in your circulatory system. So that's just a quick bookend to the olive oil. That's another episode, actually. So Celtic Sea Salt, apparently, hope so, that it has 80 plus minerals in it, and lovely. Depends if you absorb it, and is it dependable? I'm sure there's been studies out there to suggest how much of this, how much of that mineral is contained in Celtic Sea Salt. Is it equally abundant on each batch? Maybe, but also maybe not. Also, the form that salt in general comes in, even if you get the sodium out of it, it's particularly the table salt. It's refined. It's putrid stuff. The Celtic Sea Salt, usually in the coarse grade, it will be more dependable than other mineral-containing crops that we grow. That's for sure. But the form that it comes in is pretty much the same form as crushed rock, that sort of thing. It's metallic minerals. It's Humian minerals, that sort of thing. The absorbability, this is the main kicker, where the fallacy, I suggest, is about Celtic Sea Salt, is that in the form of rock and salt, and usually the metallic forms aren't too bioavailable, they aren't too absorbable, and if they are, even the likes of Barb O'Neill, they don't poo-poo going off wheat. They suggest going off dairy and gluten. She does, but she doesn't totally say no to gluten like I do. Even I've got a caveat in there to suggest that it's okay to eat gluten as long as your gastric juice pH is 1.0 and under, which is very, very acidic. I think even if you look up Google, or look up an AI question, 1.5 to 3.5 is the pH guide that we should have. You should at least go for 2.0 and under. 3.5 is in the realm of you might miss a few things in your digestion. You may not digest enough. Certainly if you take PPIs because too much acid, and then your gastric juices blows out to 4.5, 5.5, you're not going to absorb much. And that's when in your 30s, 40s, 50s, people start to deteriorate in their health and grow older even quicker because of the PPI uptake. Anti-indigestion lotions and potions and pills and all that sort of thing. It's as per at least a couple of other episodes I've done on digestion and antacids and that sort of thing. I've built digestion as a very important factor in the Health 44, preceding the Health 44, but part of the Health 44. So, and as most listeners and viewers will listen to my content once because they'll say, "Who is this idiot?" The Health 44, just quickly. Health happens when you do the 44. Health 44. The first four, the 44, 90-95% of the supermarket. Eliminated. It's an elimination diet. You can't eliminate. That's another fallacy in itself. It's not proper to exclude food. Well, you better, or you won't get past 80. Especially these days with even greater deterioration of our food supply. So 90% of the supermarket is out. Glutens, oils, sugars, nitrates, nitrites. They're the four food groups to be ousted. Nitrates, nitrites, there's also a bit of a backlash or movement or debunking attempt to suggest that nitrates, nitrites are very important in nitric oxide formation and that sort of thing. I'm going to examine further, but for now, nitrates, nitrites are the big carcinogen in town, mainly in the processed meats. Okay, so that's a little add-on to the first four, the 44 for today. The second four, the 44, those 90 declared essential minerals, vitamins, amino acids, essential fatty acids. There's 90 of those four categories. So you bring in those four categories of micronutrients. There's 60 of the minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 2 essential fatty acids that are deemed essential because we can't make them in our physiology. Some we can, but not in the amounts that we need. We need ample amounts to make it all work. All the cofactors that make it work. There's not only 27 or 39 or whatever the going rate is with essential micronutrients, there's 90. We don't know the ins and outs, the cofactoring that's required because the NIH will not give $1 trillion for the research on that. And that's what's needed in today's academic health complex to make it all happen, to understand it. So yeah. So that's the main drive summary for today, is that Celtic Sea Salt, if you're not doing the Health 44, or at least the remnants of it, where you don't have gluten, hopefully no oils, Sugars, a bit of fruit and veg, okay, but certainly not plant-based. Plant-based, you can go plant-based. I've declared in the past you can go plant-based, but it's more of a challenge. It's more of a challenge. So, and with the Celtic sea salt, very important. It will increase your digestibility efficacy, but the minerals that you're hoping for, you better at least cut out gluten for starters, and then you better wait at least 3 months for any extra absorbability to go in. You're still absorbing stuff because you're still alive, but you'll be absorbing more if you go off the gluten. And you can, as I've said, you can eat bread and pasta, all your glutens, but it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard to get gastric juices under 1.0. And to do that, you better track it, because it is difficult. So to not track it, the only way to track it properly is to do a nasogastric thing, litmus paper thing, aspirate and litmus paper. It's unpleasant. It's the more reliable way to do it, and also the litmus paper, I can't trust it, so I will take away the glutens and all grains. And I for the last half year I've been off grains, and I'm benefiting. So together with the sea salt, even in my good health state, my absorbability, I'm not absorbing as much as colloidal minerals. And it's important to take in colloidal-based minerals, which is the greatest of the bioavailability for you to absorb those minerals. Rather than getting 8-10% absorbability in your Celtic sea salt, with colloidal minerals, 70% absorbability if your gastric pH is low enough. So with the Celtic sea salt, take ample amounts. That will also take down the gastric juice pH to then absorb more of the Celtic sea salt. If you choose not to, supplement. But we need to supplement these days. Don't forget that the soils, the farming soils all around the planet, are pretty much depleted of all the essential minerals that we require. Each carrot and lettuce that gets pulled out of the ground and the minerals aren't replenished, they're gone forever. And don't forget that if your crops that you're eating, your plant-based stuff, if it's not in the soils, if the minerals aren't in the soils, it doesn't end up in your foods, and it doesn't end up in your own physiology. That simple thing I hear very seldom, even when I look for it. And my next planned podcast is about Dave Osprey, and he knows a lot about minerals, but he doesn't hone in on it. He's got all these other biohacks happening. So that's it for now with Celtic Sea Salt. It's not magic, but I still endorse it if you do the Health 44. And don't forget, I've got services available on the show notes. Peruse, have a look. It's not for everyone, but everything that I do prescribe to humanity is there. But people have different conditions, different weights, different needs, preferences, and that can be worked out. Trust me. So, right, I think I've made my point on Celtic sea salt, and let's see how old Barb O'Neill lives to. My own mentor and who I look up to regarding my whole Health 44 methodology is Dr. Joel Wallach, and he's 85 at the moment and deteriorating. He had a late start around age 50 like me. So I wasn't going to get past age 65 the way I was going. Doc Wallach wasn't going to get past his 20s the way he was going. So um, he lived quite not quite honed, as I'm suggesting, until he was about 50 years of age. And there you go. He's still lived a long life considering some of his history. So let's see how Barb goes. She's barely 70 now. I did look it up once. Was she 73? Anyway, let's see what age Barb O'Neill gets to. Her husband, a aspiring politician in Australia, he could be looking better for his age if he does everything that the wife does. He'd be doing even better if he did what I do. So, anyway, with those little extras, I have made my point, and bye bye for now.